Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This G-Bub here. I hope y'all been having a good one. Oh, it's been a long time, ain't it? I mean, it's been a possum's age since we were around in these parts. But I thought I was sitting out here, I'm not going to go into details right now about what I've been up to, but let's just say I'll talk about it at length on whenever I do a real G-Bub episode. This ain't gonna be a real episode, as it were. This is just kind of a I'm out here and I'm on the roads again, and I'm just kind of learning the ropes. I'm just learning how to drive these big old trucks again after a long break. And I figured I might want to come along for a ride, ride in the passenger seat over here and admire the scenery and maybe help out with gas a little bit, But, woo, this is expensive. Forgotten how expensive gas was out here. Or for my friends over on the other side of the pond, petrol. Although this ain't really petrol, we're using diesel, but you know what I mean. It's all the same thing as much as we consider. It's all little bits. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to try this out. Let's see what we got going on here. Alrighty. Like I said, this ain't official. Whenever I came back in here, y'all noticed we got a whole brand new profile up here, and this is just a tester profile while I'm working on it. I used my cousin Gnarlo's name here, so I figured that Uncle Sam, let's just say that Uncle put a few little restrictions on me, so right now I'm using an alias, as they call it, so I can be back out on the road again, So I'm going to use my cousin Gnarlo's name for a little while until I can get my own profile. But yeah, it's been so long, my profiles has all disappeared, I used to have one for G-Bub, and I had one for Tester, and there was another one and all that, but there have been so many updates. Because remember, back whenever last time I was out on the highway, we only had 3 states we could go to, and I think there's 6 of them now, and a 7th that's coming out this month. They're going to have 7 states. I mean, the map has gotten huge, and not only that, the map has actually gotten huge, because remember back last time I was driving a truck, we were using the old scale. They hadn't upscaled the driving yet. That's the main reason why I quit driving, and then things came up and I just never got back into it, But they were going, remember the scale back then was a 1 to 35, I think it was, which meant for every mile of highway that you get, every mile in the game represented 35 miles in real life. So you had these real little short highways in between cities. And since then, they've changed it to the same scale that Euro Truck Sim is. So it's like 1 to 20s. I think it is. I think it's 1 to 20. So that every mile on the road counts as 20 miles. And that has increased the size of the map like 75% just by itself. So that a couple of times, you'll notice I'm level 3 here on this little tester account. I've done a few trips and all that. You'll notice I got an actual bank account, $22,000. I've done a few trips, and we've noticed that, the distances in between cities seems to be a whole lot longer now. It actually feels like you're out on the highway for a little bit rather than just, making a little hop across town, that kind of thing. So we're going to give it a go. And try a few. Like I said, I'm just working with the stuff here. I got a few mods put in, not as many as I used to, so you won't see all the stuff that I used to have. I've still got to get the mods back in here, but I got a few mods in here running. I want to test them out. I won't get used to the controls again, and I'm gonna have to be working on some of the controls too. Like I got my steering wheel and my pedals and my gear shifter working, but it ain't totally reading my gear shifter. I mean, I know it's picking up because if I shift it up into what should be, let's say 1, 2, if I shift it up to where like 3rd gear should be, it reads it as drive, and if I shift it back to where 4th gear ought to be, it reads it as reverse. But it doesn't actually read all the other spots on the H shifter. So I got to work on that a little bit too. But I was lucky for the longest time. First couple of trips I took, it wasn't reading my clutch pedal at all. So I'm slowly getting things working again. But I tell you what, let's get out here, let's get on to the job market, and let's find us a place. Let's look at the world map first. As you'll see, last time, whenever we left off, all we had California right here, and we had Nevada, and we had over here, Arizona. Arizona was the freebie that had just come in, you know, Phoenix and all that kind of stuff. So we had these 3 states. And since then, they've gone up and they finished the entire coast here. We've got Oregon now, and we've got Washington up here, and there's the Canada border right up yonder. Wonder why someone's not wanting to build a wall along that border. Just curious. But we got that, and then they've come out this way. We got New Mexico. So New Mexico's come in, you know, and there's Texas over here. Well, ain't got no plans for that right now, but we got this month, this state's going to pop in, Utah. And so we're going to have a nice little corner of the U.S. done right here. Ain't that nice? It's going to be about size-wise, probably about 20% of the country is going to be in here now. So I can't wait for Utah to come in. That'll be fun. We'll see Salt Lake City and some of the other places. So we'll see how it is. As you see, I have done a few trips, as you can tell by the yellow. Done about 4 or 5 trips, but I ain't even explored 3% of the map yet. So we've got a ways to go yet. Let's look at quick jobs. Go ahead and pull one up. I want to take a nice long drive here, so I've got them set out by route length. Not the most highest. I mean, I could come down here and get paid almost $24 a mile, but $20 a mile is good enough. I just want a nice long drive just to learn the controls again. And since this is the longest one, looks like we're going to be going from Las Vegas all over here to Page, Arizona. So we'll be going across Arizona here. Alrighty. Well, we'll see that. It looks the offer expires. It's expected, what day is it today? It's Tuesday at 9:18, and they expect it over there in about 24 hours. So we got about 24 hours to get it over there, which is cool. Because we got, what is that right there? What does that give us? Standard delivery. Oh, that's good. Because, yeah, we ain't boosted anything up yet other than long hauls, just because I just wanted to have some drives and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and take this job and see where it puts us. Yeah, and I still have my old World of Trucks account, and it's still showing the only 3 externals that I ever did. It's going to pay us $8,000 if we can get it there in one piece without banging up the truck too much. There we go. Now, I haven't got my track IR working again either, so y'all see me using the mouse to look around. I haven't got the little head looker thing. It looks like we're parked right over here beside, this is what, Walbert. I got a mod in the game that gives us real world locations and company names and stuff, so this may change to Walmart. We'll have to take a look and see. But let's go ahead and start up the engine. There we go. Ooh, nice rumble, isn't it? That's without even any sound mods. Alright, we're going to turn off the parking brake. I'm going to put it into what should be third, but is actually drive. I just took the parking brake off. I guess I already had it off and it was putting it back on, didn't it? Glad I didn't have to park this one over here. We're just going to pull it out. Oh, nice truck. Got a nice little sleeper here. Let's look around it right quick, shall we? There's one. That's the cab overview and the truck overview. Yeah, looks like a nice little truck. Nice little Peterbilt. That's the overhead. I don't trust anybody to drive that way. Go back here. All right, where we at? And what's the sign say? Does the sign say? We can't see the sign yet, can we? We'll have to get up there and see if it says Walmart or what it says. Let's get back in the truck and let's get ready to drive, shall we? Like I said, I'm not going to be changing gears very much, or at all, unless I have to go into reverse, because we're looking at, you know, driving on an automatic here. Got that old automatic transmission. All right, we need to swing it. Ooh, okay, I am going to miss that wall. We need to swing it a little wide over this way. Because we're going to want to swing it on out. And I don't want to hit no post. I don't want to hit no walls. I probably need to set up my mirrors before we finished up here too. Which way we going to turn? We're going to be turning to the left. All right. And let's go ahead and hit the brake. What's it put? Walgreens. Alrighty, so it turned Walbert into Walgreens. That's cool. I can live with that. I don't see any traffic coming. So let's go ahead and pull on out here. Las Vegas discovered. I guess I must have been really drunk when I showed up here last night. If I didn't realize I was in Las Vegas. Can we come a little bit more forward? Just to get my tail end into the same thing. Well, it's not quite in the lane, is it? Let's go after this car. Alrighty. Just as soon as I ride on the city, I'm gonna turn on the radio. It should be, I think, on this next right here. Yep. Let's hang this next right. That's going to take us down toward the highway. Oh, I forgot how nice this force feedback was. It's giving me a lot of jittering in my thing. All right, folks. Ooh, look at that airplane. Look at that airplane up there bringing in all those tourists with all their money, all their cash to keep this economy going here. Because they're going to lose it. They're going to lose it. I tell you, the house always wins. All righty. So we're going to head on down State Road 93 here. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn on the radio. We're going to listen to the radio. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking while we're driving. I'm going to let y'all listen to something. It's my favorite talk show I've been listening to. It's called the Brit and The Git. So we're going to listen to them. It used to be called the Mank and the Yank, but they got into a lot of trouble for that, apparently. Apparently, you're not supposed to go around saying Mank all the time, so kind of like, us. We get a little upset whenever a non-redneck calls us a redneck. We can call ourselves rednecks, but don't let a non-redneck call you a redneck. So they had to change. They were off the air for a while, but they've changed it to the Brit and The Git now. So I'm going to let them talk, and we're just going to be driving, and y'all just enjoy the scenery out here, alrighty? We'll talk to y'all whenever we get a little bit further down the road. All right, there we go. Can't promise about the still image of a girl with tits, but...
Hey, it gets the viewers.
It does indeed. It does indeed.
The amount of videos I've clicked on looking at her, shuffle dancing and stuff like that.
Oh,
I click
God,
on the girl
yes.
videos first.
God, yes. Have you seen the one with Staying Alive with the lady with the crop top and the orange like harem pants?
It sounds very familiar. I probably
really gorgeous lady. She's like dancing in a hallway at like a dorm or something because people keep coming by and she's laughing with them and that kind of stuff. But she's obviously got some like belly dancing skills or something. And very fit. Yeah, I'll have to send you a link to it.
You'll have to send me a link to that one.
I love it.
That's not what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of all the shuffle dancing videos. I really am.
Yeah. But I've been really enjoying that Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it's like I say, it's just something that I wasn't prepared for. Just wasn't expecting it at all. It's so different. You see it, and you see it's a first-person game, so you're expecting it to be a first-person game, like Skyrim's kind of is.
Right. So it is truly a first-person. I mean, you're in it just like Skyrim or any of the others.
You're completely in it first person. You can't go third person at any point.
Scroll out. Okay.
The only thing is a lot of the conversations and cutscenes and everything are done third person. Like you see yourself then. You see Henry, which is your character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You'll see him talk to the other people. That's the only downside in it. They had to decide. Were they going to tell a very specific story, or were they going to leave it blank so you could tell your own? And they came down on the side of, we want to tell this very emotional and tragic, but also inspiring story.
Sure.
So to do that, they have to give you a character.
Uh-huh.
Now you can mold him quite, how you want.
And is it like the Elder Scrolls stuff? Is it one of those where you've got a story, but you can ignore it and go off and do what you want to if you want to? Or GTA or any of those, yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. You can ignore the story if you want, but the story will ignore you and carry on doing what it bloody well was doing.
Okay.
One of the very first things you do once you get through the prologue and into the story itself, and as I've said, the prologue's 5 hours long, which tells you what the game's like. Yeah. Before you get the opening cutscene, it's 5 hours of gameplay, and then you get through to this cutscene, and then you're in this certain place, and they give you a quest, and they just say, go with this knight and go and investigate what's happened in this village. And I've just come back from a looting session. I can barely walk. I'm carrying so much treasure with me. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll just go and sell my stuff and then I'll get on with it. I went to sell my stuff. I came back. He was nowhere in sight, this knight and his men. And I couldn't find him. So I realised he'd gone without me. So I had to ride off after him. And I finally got there. He'd been investigating it already. And he gave me the bollocking of my life for not going with him. I missed out on a couple of cutscenes. I know through watching through afterwards now, I missed out on, quite a bit of cutscenes and stuff because the story progressed without me. It said, fine, you don't want to do the story, you don't do the story, but we're doing it.
So it's very clearly a case of you are not the chosen one. The world does not stop to wait for you.
No, not at all. You're definitely not. You can't wade through, hundreds of enemies like a chosen one can. You can't. You end up fighting 2 or 3. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Until you've learned to handle yourself a bit, and you've got yourself geared up and everything. You slowly learn. But it is so difficult getting around that concept. That first concept of it's not just my skill; it's the character's skill. You know, I think I was mentioning today I was recording what would be roughly episode 58 if I ever put it up as a series. And
oh God, please do, man.
Well, I don't think so because I just can't bear editing. But I was talking in it then because I play and I talk. I record and play and talk anyway. And I'm talking about how the fact that because I'm a Sniper Elite player, I wanted to be excellent with the bow. So I would try and use the bow, and no matter how much I tried to aim, it wasn't just me aiming, it's Henry as well. And Henry had no skill with a bow. He didn't have the strength to be able to draw some of the bows. Even when he got it roughly on target, his shot would fling off wildly because he wasn't very good with it. And it was utter frustration for somebody who's used to doing headshots, But it's I'm gradually getting him to the point now where, his skill is beginning to match mine, so I can hit things now.
Right.
But it's been a long and painful process.
Yeah, I understand that entirely. It's the same problem I'm having in Doom right now, is that my character's skill on the screen as I'm playing isn't equal to my skill. I mean, I platform a hell of a lot better than the Doom Trooper does, and it's until I get his skills built up, it's just frustrating as hell.
Yes, I've noticed once or twice he accidentally double jumps when he shouldn't and things like that.
Yes he does, and it's just I'm just sitting here screaming, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But I've been really enjoying that series of yours. I know it's silly, but Doom is such a good game. It's really good to watch it.
Oh, Doom's an awesome game. I really am enjoying it. Yeah, it's just I have my little frustrations because I just I don't want to play it on easy. I don't want to play it on easy. Normal is my thing. Normal is good, but it's stuff like it. And I think the latest comment you put up was very clear. It's like it's a game that suits all forts. If you're a running gunner, you got that. If you're the kind that sits there and wants to pick up every little data pack and read every one of the codex entries, that's for you. If you're just wanting to try and speed run it and get through it and get to the exit as quick as possible, that's there. If you're one of those that wants to explore and find every secret, that's there. But it's the save system. Doesn't quite suit my thing of play. I need my checkpoints a little bit closer together.
Yes.
Because I can spend 30 minutes just walking across a room. So,
Yeah, well, that's it though. I mean, you stop and you admire it. I love the way in that video you stopped and you looked off the side of the bridge and you admired the scenery. You know, look at that view, isn't that amazing? Because most of us was so busy like shooting imps and double jumping from left to right across that bridge that we barely saw any of it. You know, and you're paying homage to the work they've done, but unfortunately, you do get punished for that because you know, you take half an hour to get somewhere that I looked on my video. I think it took me about 4 minutes to get there, and it's a shame because being able to see what they've done and they've put so much work into it, and most people just race past it.
Yeah.
You know, they get the impression of it, but oh yeah, that's a bridge. Where have I got to go across? Whereas you stopped and looked at everything, and you were very careful to make sure you hadn't missed anything as well, which I like. I didn't get that. I didn't understand that when I was playing about the horrible places where you go past that you can't get back from.
Yeah, that is a painful part. Is that there are sections where you cannot backtrack. You know, once you pass this part, there's no going back again. Yeah.
I think you did find one place though where you could actually theoretically do it. You were talking about you could perhaps jump from up there, and you don't know whether you'd survive the fall, but you could try it.
But you could try it. And there's stuff like that I've seen somebody. It depends once again how good your skills are. I saw someone, you know, at the very beginning of the game, where right after you've taken the elevator ride.
Yeah.
You know, you get through the first little introductory part, you get to the title screen, you take the elevator ride with a wonderful theme song that ends in the cocking shotgun. And, you know, you come out and you do that jump down to where it's a long jump down to where the first group of imps and stuff like that are.
Yeah.
And it's really high up that cliff, but I have seen someone who managed to jump and get up onto, there's like a drill or something there, and they managed to get their jumping and their timing down, so they were able to jump up, get on top of that drill thing, and then jump back onto the original cliff platform up there. So it can be done. You just, you know, I just ain't got the skills to do that sort of thing. So, yeah. But there are some places, like you said, where doors lock and there's just no going back.
Yeah. There was a very bitter one for me where you're riding an elevator up, and you know, when you go up, it goes up through a floor, and the floor closes, and that's it. You cannot get back down. You know.
Yeah.
But for every minor flaw like that, you know, it's the devs behind that game were just sensational. I'm very disappointed in what I'm seeing of the next one so far, but we'll have to see about that.
I'm not disappointed in the gameplay part that I've seen. I've seen a few short clips. Like I said, I saw the beginning little story clip. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw the story clip where, as you said, it was very Halo-esque, where the Doom Troopers walking through the ship to go over to the other one that's being invaded by the demons and all.
Yeah.
And I've seen some footage where they're like fighting, they're down on Earth, I'm assuming, because there's all these burning, collapsing skyscrapers, and they're fighting his way through it. I've seen some clips of that, and I'm cool with that. But yeah, the color palette is a little bit off.
Yeah. Very, very neon. Not just neon though, but multicolored neons. You know, you've got bright greens with bright purples and bright reds.
Right.
Very strange.
Interesting to see what they do, what their menus are like. You know, are you going to be able to get into the options and change some stuff around, and perhaps change some colors and desaturate some stuff a bit?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like in the original Doom that's out that I'm playing through, the Doom 16, there's in the graphics options, there's three different menu entries there for people who have color blindness, depending on what kind of color blindness you have.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if those kind of settings would change the type of colors that you see, and perhaps the brightness and the contrast and everything with it. I said it'd be worth playing around with it and seeing if that will how that will affect how the HUD looks, how the heads-up display looks in the game.
Yeah. I've also seen, one guy. I think they allowed him to play about half an hour of the game at that E3 or whatever it is, or what it was called. And one of the journalists that played it, he was showing his footage from it, and it's an incredible amount of jumping in it now. It's much more platformy than before, I think they found that people seem to like that in the last one, where they were leaping around, double jumping here and zooming across the rooms and everything. So he was saying now you've got so many different ways to get around the level. You can, I think you can actually do an extra jump as well now, not just double jump, but more than that, and swing from poles and all sorts of odd things. So the levels aren't quite as easy to navigate as you'd think. Now he says that was his biggest problem, was navigation. We'll see how it comes out. Doom Eternal.
That's interesting, because I think the biggest thing with me with it was that too many of the levels seem to be a little bit linear.
Yeah.
The ones that I've played so far. I mean, it's a pretty linear thing. You don't have a lot of choice. There's a few sections here and there where, okay, I can go this. For instance, the Foundry. I think it was the Foundry.
Yeah.
I loved the giant foundry room where there were so many different ways you could cross the room. I can go this way. I can follow over here. I can use the steps. I can jump across the collapsing platforms, that sort of thing.
Yep.
But then, like the one that I'm in right now, where I'm trying to get to the Argent Tower, and it's like, okay, I have to go through these rooms, and then I have to cross this bridge, and then it looks like there's one way up the tower, and there's a few choices here and there, but I don't know. I might like something with a little bit more. It's watching you play Sniper Elite. I like the big wide open islands and zones in Sniper Elite where you've got just a multitude of choices. How do I want to approach this? Which way do I want to go?
Yeah.
As long as they keep the map. I love the map.
You're enjoying that map, aren't you?
Yeah, Doom 16 has a great map. I do like the 3D map there that really gives you a good feeling for where you've been, where you need to go. Can I get there? Okay, there is a platform there, so let's see if I can get to it.
Yeah, and you make great use out of that. I had trouble navigating even with the map, but you make use of it because you look at it to see where, like you say, where you've not been, where there might be something there. I'll just go and check over there.
And I had the, totally by accident, had the setting turned on that made everything you had actually picked up or operated with turn from yellow to red, so I knew what I hadn't done yet. Whereas I remember, especially in the ones that I watch, you're having trouble because none of your things, you can pick them up, but they don't turn color. They stay that yellow,
I couldn't find a way to get that you got, and I'm wondering if that's a difficulty level thing.
Maybe.
Maybe because I was playing on a higher level difficulty, which is possible, I suppose.
Maybe.
But that is super useful. That you have that where it changes colour. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember having such a blast with the game as I did with that Doom. It's so fun.
A lot of good stuff in it. That is true.
Oh yeah. In fact, only today I was thinking, what will I do when I finish with Kingdom Come and everything? What will I do? And I thought, I might give Doom 16 another go, but put it on its maximum setting, maximum difficulty.
There you go. Yeah, play Ultra Nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I think I have to play it on Night. Is it Nightmare or whatever the next one before you can go up to that full one? But
I'm not. Yeah, I know the top one is locked, but I have no idea how you get into it. No idea what it is that you have to do.
And with regards to the levels, I think it does it something where it's. You see, the trouble with Doom is it's trying to keep a pace up. It works at a frantic pace. Like I say, that's how it punishes you in a way because you go slowly. Yeah. I tried that as well. I think I tried that on the bridge. I tried standing there sniping stuff and everything. It doesn't quite work the same way.
Yeah. And that's something that I had to learn in the arena battles. The arena battles had to, whenever you get locked off and The demon presence is too high. Initiating lockdown now. I had to learn to keep moving because that's just not my battle style. I've never been a action running gun gamer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Our style is that way, isn't it? I mean, I'm a sniper elite player, so I want to go as slow and steady as possible and aim from a distance. And the game doesn't really want you to do that. It wants you to move fast. I watched Game Maker's Toolkit with Mark Brown, where he explains about that, and how the devs wanted you to move forward fast, and so that's where the glory kills come from. Your glory kills are how you get your extra ammo, how you get your extra health,
how you keep your health up.
So therefore they encourage you to go forward and be aggressive, and yet you don't sort of kind of realize that you're being led that way through that. You just find you want to do it.
The game is very good at retraining you, taking you out of your comfort zone there.
Yeah, and as you say, constant movement is the key to that. The moment you stand still, you're going to get hit, so you just keep moving.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to some of the levels you've got coming up. Like you say, some are a lot more linear than others. Some are old school where you've got to go through, find keys for doors, so you've got to get the blue skull to get through the blue door and so forth.
I'm looking forward to getting to Hell, because all the stuff that I've seen of Hell, both in multiplayer and the few bits of it I've seen on single player and the single player clips I've seen of it all, definitely looks like it's a much more open environment.
Yeah.
For good or bad. For good or bad, in my case.
Well, it's certainly going to be fun. Have you got another episode of that up ready yet, or have you still?
No. I've got to get back to recording it. I recorded that one where I fell off on the double jump and ended up back where I first started that level, and then had been at work for the last 3 days. So.
Yeah, and part of that is the Groundhog Day of having to redo all that, isn't it? Like you said, the save points are just too far away for you, so
a little too far apart there.
You have to go back and do all that again. I had a similar experience with Kingdom Come, because I had this place where I'd got to ride. It took me about 5 minutes to ride there. And then I knew I'd get attacked when I got there, and I get attacked, and I got beaten because I wasn't very good at combat, and I'd die. And it had put me all the way back here, so then I'd have to do it all again, because that game doesn't have a great save system either. You save it when you sleep, until you learn alchemy better. You learn alchemy better, you can then sort out your saving, but until then it's very difficult. You do have to repeat yourself. And I think that's something that games have to take into account, really, isn't it? What is the perfect length between saves? Because otherwise, if they give you too often, then you just save scumming, aren't you, really? Your save scumming before anything, so nothing really has consequence. Whereas if you've got to, go quite a long while without a save, you're a lot more careful.
You're a lot more careful. You're a lot more careful. But once again, that you say about, for instance, Doom, that right there is counterintuitive. Doom wants you to run and balls to the wall and hell for leather and throw caution to the wind and kill, move. But the things are far enough apart, you need to be a little more careful. So it's like, why?
Yeah.
Mixed signals here, Doom. Mixed signals.
That's it, yeah. So get your health by getting up to him and bashing him in the face. I noticed you must have selected the vacuum perk for your loot drops on Doom. Because you killed something from quite a distance away, and its loot still came leaping over to you.
Yeah, I'm on I've been running with the vacuum.
Yeah.
And I've almost got it up to second level.
Well, that's going to be amazing then, because even now it's quite a distance away from you now.
Mm-hmm.
When you got across that bridge and you fought the Hell Knight, and then you got into that little room,
Yes.
You shot something on the other side of the room, and the loot just leapt right across the room to you. You know.
Yeah, it sucked it from halfway across. It really did.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what it does when you hit second level on it. Just whoa. Walk on the bridge and you sucked everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, God knows I suck now. So I can't wait to see when I get Vacuum 2 just how much I suck.
But do you know what you've got to do to get Vacuum 2?
You just got to collect, I think, 300 items. You've got to scoop up like 300 health points or something, 300 health units or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm only like 7 away.
Yes. Oh, yes, I remember.
Well, I saw it. It's 293 of 300, so that's why I put it back on it and went, okay, well, we're so close. Let's just go ahead and finish this one up before we play with one of the other two.
Yeah.
Although I am doing that on my replay, where I've gone back to the prior level, the one that I didn't finish, the Death from Above on 2 Hell Knights. I have swapped out there and put the one that gives you the additional stun time.
Yeah.
So I am playing with that one in that particular replay of the level so that I can try and keep them stunned a little bit longer. Okay, I've stunned you. Now, where's something I can jump on so I can jump on your head?
Yeah, well, now you've got to get used to not just to stun them, but you've now got to stun them in the location you want them to be in, so you've got something there to climb onto.
It's so painful.
Yeah.
It's as we've talked about that right there. It's the part of the game that I don't enjoy so much, or that kind of takes me out of the game a bit, and that I have decided I'm not going to worry about during my gameplay, is the challenges. I mean, there's always the challenges to find secrets, and that's fine. That's part of my gameplay. I'm going to find the secrets. But the challenges of do 2 Death from Aboves on Hell Knights, do 5 from behind glory kills on imps, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to worry about it while I'm in the level. If it happens, it happens, because I know I can go back and get it that way.
And it's really interesting that, because I think it's categorizing gamers in a way, because you're now finding out that there are certain people who are challenge addicts. Oh, that's a challenge, I have to do it. And then there's people like you and me who think, yeah, well, I might do it, I might not. I found that if the challenge is relevant to me, I want to do it. If it's not, then I don't care about it. You know.
Sure.
Like, for instance, so the challenges for weapons that I didn't bother using, I just didn't care about. You know, it was not of interest at all. But if it was something I enjoyed, then I used it.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm also finding that I seem to be in the very small minority of gamers as well that doesn't really much care for collectibles and things, unless it's something, you know, I mean, I'll pick them up if I can find them, and I like finding them, but I won't go out my way to, and it seems to drive some people insane, that.
I am a collector. I'm a collector, and I'm a completionist to a degree. I'd like to try and complete. I'd like to try and get all the challenges. I like to try to get all the collectibles, all the different things that you can do and find.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's just a matter of getting older. Because at one point in time, let's say the first GTA that I'd put up. Let's talk about a series I've actually finished. The first GTA 3 one that I put up. You know, the only one of the things in that I can think of that I didn't complete is the ambulance. The ambulance challenge.
Yeah.
And it's just too difficult for me. And it's too frustrating. I'm sure if I spent 2 weeks working on it, I could complete it. But it's too frustrating for me to do that, and it's not going to add to my enjoyment of the game. It would just me completing it to complete it.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas something along the lines of, let's say, kill the 200 flying rats in GTA 4,
Yep.
I may actually get around to doing that because, number one, they're flying freaking rats, and who doesn't like shooting pigeons?
Yeah.
And number two, it appeals to my explorer. I am very much an explorer, and it gives me a reason to jump up on everything and investigate every single nook and cranny in the game, which is enjoyable to me. I can get into GTA 4 or GTA 5, GTA Online. I can get into these games and have gotten into these games and just spent hours just walking around looking at stuff.
Yep.
Not doing any kind of gameplay whatsoever, or not running missions, not making money, not killing things, just walking around looking at everything. Listening to the pedestrians. That embarrassing night that Dwendon and I followed the lady lifeguard off the beach and halfway across the city trying to find out where she lived. You know, it's will she go back to her house? Where is she going?
Yeah,
that sort of thing. We spent literally 2 hours just following this woman as she walked around the city.
And that's a testament to just how good the game is, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is.
I've done the same things in GTA. I still marvel when I find those rotating poster boards. You know, and you go and look up at one of the posters, and after a moment it rotates round to the next poster, and all the graffiti is still on the glass screen in front of it, and the attention to detail in that is just amazing. And I think that's sort of something to do with handcrafted worlds. You know, that bleeds into the argument of which is better, a small handcrafted world or a large procedurally generated one, you know. And having played both Minecraft and GTA, of course, I appreciate both for what they are.
Yes. And I enjoy having places. I enjoy something like, and I would imagine Skyrim is like this because I know Oblivion was like this. Oblivion had the best of both. You had the world as a whole was procedurally generated. You know, that's how they created. They did not handcraft every tree and all this. They shaped the land, they put it in, and it generated the world and put the trees and the rivers, and then they went in and tweaked everything by hand.
Right.
They have special areas. They got this grotto over here. You're walking through a forest that it's the same forest for everybody, but the original forest that's in the game file was procedurally generated. They said, okay, let's build a forest here. Put in these kind of trees, these kind of bushes, these kind of rocks, and it was procedurally generated. So you're walking through a procedurally generated forest that looks great. I mean, it looks like a random forest. So you're walking through that, and then you get to this little grotto area that they handcrafted and built and inserted into it. So I'm good with that. I think they did a good job there with the best of both.
Yeah.
Because it would have taken them.
Hear you say that's how they do it, but yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it would have taken them forever, you know, to handcraft everything that way. It would be like GTAs where they have this gigantic staff of hundreds of people, and it still takes them 5 to 6 years to come out with the next game because everything is crafted and placed the way they want it to be.
Well, it's really weird you should say that, because like my episode 58 of Kingdom Come is exactly that. It's called A Walk in the Woods. I go off looking, I find a treasure map and I go looking for a piece of treasure in the woods, and then once I've found it, I think, right, well, I just want to uncover the fog of war and everything, move it off the map. So I start walking around the woods, and the woods are up and down hills and through streams and rocks everywhere, and it's beautiful. But maybe they've done it the way that you say now. Then maybe they've let it procedurally generate all this stuff, and then they've locked it in place and tweaked it. And every now and again, I will find these little places. I'll find an old burnt-out building, or I find what looks like an archaeological site where somebody's been digging and everything. Right. And those are hidden right off the beaten path, out in the middle of nowhere. And it's just incredible, yeah. But I have to admit, I've been wondering, how did they do all these thousands of trees
I would assure, I'm 99% sure that's how they did it. Because that was one of the things when Oblivion came out, they talked about that. One of the big discussions that came along was which was better. Because Morrowind was excuse me, Morrowind was crafted by hand. Every slope, every hill, every rock, every tree, every little herbal thing, everything was put in by hand. You went to the swamp over there where the Argonians lived. Every cat tail and fern sticking up had all been crafted and placed by hand.
Yeah.
The entire island. And then when Oblivion came out, that's what they talked about, the difference between the two. That's why they said why Oblivion could be so much bigger and so much vaster than the island of Morrowind was because they used procedural generation to craft the land and then went in manually and tweaked it and fixed it and put in the little special areas they wanted to put in.
Yeah.
And that's I would only imagine that's how things like the Far Cry and the later Elder Scroll games and probably Kingdom Come and those sort of things. That's how they have to do it now.
Yeah, probably with it being so big and everything.
So big.
Do you think that's how they've done it with GTA's map though? Because
GTA,
the level of detail in that is just incredible.
GTA, I don't think so, because GTA truly doesn't have any real wilderness areas. It doesn't really have anything that, I mean, there are no, okay, you're just out here and you're just wandering through a forest now. You know, everywhere you go in GTA 5, you're going to run into something.
Yeah.
So I really don't think, I really can't think of anything in GTA 5 that really strikes me as being something that procedural generation would be any use for. Because every little stretch of land has something there for you to find and something there for you to do. And it's very rare to come across something that isn't like that. I mean, even when you're out somewhere, let's say you're just driving through the wilderness, you've still got a road there. Let's think about that long road, that twisty, windy dirt road that leads all the way up by the river. Starts down at the bottom of that canyon river and weaves up the side of the mountain and ends up at that iron bridge up at the at the top.
Yeah.
You know, you can't procedurally generate that. That's something that has to be put in there by hand and go, okay, we're going to do this. Let's put these rocks here. I mean, you could not generate something and have it look that good and have those kind of features to be at. So I really don't think they probably did. I really think that game was probably crafted by hand. If they did have something that generated even 30% of it, I would love to shake their hands and say, why haven't you people got a Nobel Prize? This is incredible that y'all were able to program a computer to do something this damn nice.
Yeah.
The basic land might have been, but even then I don't think it was, because it's just too good. There are those things where you jump in and go, okay, this is where you can tell that it's like in Skyrim or Oblivion or probably like in the Kingdom Come you're talking about, where you're walking through, you can tell the difference when you shift from one into another, because you're walking through a forest and you're saying, this is really nice, this is a great place, it looks like a forest, and then you come across something that you know was put there.
Yeah.
Because it's just different. There's just a different feel to it. And I never get that feel in GTA. I never came across anything that felt different from the other part. It was very well unified and all. And I think it is part of that too, is that GTA, they have crammed so much stuff into that map.
Oh, yeah. I mean, ridiculous amount. I've got, over 500 hours in there or more, and
yes.
I'm never tired of finding things and walking around and seeing things.
Yes, exactly. It's just beautiful.
But I don't know. I suppose I will try the Doom when it comes out, Doom Eternal. But I've been asked if I'll play it by one of the viewers who watched one of my Doom videos. But I don't know. To be honest, I didn't. When Doom 16 came out, I didn't fancy it, and I find that something that's very strange in that games I don't think I'll like, I tend to enjoy if I play.
I remember us having to browbeat you into trying GTA.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because I'm morally objected to GTA rather than anything. But you know, you lot of corrupted.
Good to be the king.
Yeah. Well, this is it. It was a time when I didn't like to play the anti-hero. I was always the noble hero.
Sure. I'm a paladin at heart.
Yeah. Well, it turns out now I'm not. You've completely broken me. I'm enjoying the thieving and the stealth and the lock picking in Kingdom Come far more than the honorary knight who goes around, saving the thing. And it's weird.
I'd still enjoy games that are meant to be that way, like the thief game. I love being a thief. No problem with that whatsoever. Or playing any of the missions in GTA, where we're just horrible gangsters. Sure, because that's what you're supposed to be. Given a choice. I mean, when you don't have a choice, I have no problem being the bad guy. No problem at all being the bad guy.
Yeah.
Given a choice, I fall to Paladin every time. I mean, that's the way Mass Effect was. It's like, I don't even know, why are you even giving me these neutral and bad guy renegade choices? Why am I going to pick those? It's good guy, of course.
Well, yes, yeah. I think that's a very good way to put it, actually. Yeah, give you the choice and you'll play the hero bit. But
right. Now, I mean, when it comes to the dating, yes, I'm going to try to have a harem and date everybody in the game. but given a choice otherwise, I'm going to be a paladin. I'm just a very horny paladin.
That's it.
Everybody's got to have one flaw. Everybody has one flaw. Nobody's perfect.
That paladin's not holding a two-handed sword.
He's not. But he can lay on hands, let me tell you.
Yeah. But it is strange, though, how I've found that games that I think I'm going to like, I end up being disappointed by, and games that I've steered away from, I end up really enjoying. I did steer away from Kingdom Come because I'd heard how bugged it was and how people complaining about it. And it was only when I ran out of other things to do that I thought, well, go on, I'll play it for a bit,
Yeah.
And so it was a nice, pleasant surprise. And Doom 16 was completely like that. I just didn't fancy it, But I'd done my time with first-person shooters. I was a sniper person from then on. I wanted, controlled, slow, stealthy stuff, not run and gun. Mm-hmm. And I played it and just had the most fun I can remember for a long time with it.
Great, man. I need to take a break here right quick.
Okay.
And I'll be right back. All right, everybody. There you go. We made it all the way to Page, Arizona. So, as you see there, I leveled on up to level 4, but don't pay attention to any of that or the money or anything like that, because I'm gonna be starting this profile all over again. Hope y'all enjoyed our little radio visit there. Hope y'all enjoyed that show, and hopefully there'll be some more episodes of the Brit and The Git. They don't come on very often, but I'm very happy whenever I can find them, whenever I'm driving through a marketplace that's got them on. So, there you go. Let's get on out here. oh, we'll go ahead and click it in long distance again, you know. That's why I've been putting all these. Of course, whenever I'm doing my own, whenever I'm doing the railroading, I'll be spreading them out a little bit. But I've been wanting to do these long hauls here so we can listen to the radio show. And as you see, got some new upgrades up here because leveling up. So got some paints and all that sort of stuff and all sorts of new things for the tractor there. All right, folks, there you go. We'll see you next time. There will be some real G-Bub stuff coming up here very shortly, I hope. Although it is also NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writing Month. So I'm going to be busy hammering out a bunch of words every day. Because the whole NaNoWriMo, they try to knock out a 50,000-page novel in just the 30 days of the month. So I'm going to be hammering away at it. Doesn't have to be good. All you got to do is get them words. And when it comes to me, it ain't going to be good. So we'll see you next time. And I'd just like to say thank y'all for coming along. And we'll see you then. Bye-bye.